All right, guys, welcome back into another NFL DFS video. Got the core plays video here for you. If you guys want, I did have the first look build that I posted a day ago. Check that out as well. There will be some similar plays. We'll be diving down into it a little bit more today. So let's get into the picks for this week. All right, so just real quick, current call. All the stats I'll be pulling up will be from the 9 to 5 Sports page. Once again, I revamped it. So cheat sheet, quarterback projections, running back projections, receiver projections, tight end projections, and then the lineup builder will finally be live this week for you guys to be able to go out and use. Just use that as kind of another tool for you guys to help you guys succeed in NFL DFS. But nonetheless, let's get into the picks, baby. All right, so we're going to start out with running back Aaron Jones. So Aaron Jones gets a great matchup going against the Detroit Lions, a matchup that he put up 48 DK points against them in week 2. Now, yes, that's a long time ago. So a lot of the circumstances have changed slightly here and there, but the moral of the story is that the Detroit Lions really have been poor against the run really the whole year. They rank second in total yards given up to opposing defenses, and they actually have given up the most total touchdowns to opposing teams running backs at 23. The next best is 16. So it's been an insane amount. Detroit Lions are easily defeatable via the run game. They're giving up on average 9.4 DK points more per game to opposing running backs to their season average. Aaron Jones at this price point does make a lot of sense. He's been getting right around 15 to 22 opportunities per game, which in this matchup should definitely be enough for you guys. I think he's going to be a nice starting point for you guys this week. Now, yes, the price point does make him a little bit risky, but it's going to be worth the risk here because he could easily go off for, 20 to 30 DK points. We already saw him go off for 48 DK points. All right, let's get into the next core play for this week. All right, so getting to the next core play, we've got receiver Antonio Brown for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going against the Minnesota Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings have been a poor defense this whole year against opposing receivers, against the pass. Now, they have been better recently, but this is still going to be a matchup that I think that we should go on attack. They're bottom 7 pass defense all around, 7th most passing yards given up, 5th most total touchdowns given up. Now, if we look at Antonio Brown, he had 5 targets in his first game back, 8, 13, and then 3 last week. Now, or 2 weeks ago against the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, I think that, 8 to, 10 targets per game is going to be kind of right around the average that we see Antonio Brown at. So for him to be priced at 5.5 with me projecting him to see like right around 8 targets in this matchup, that's absolutely way too cheap. I absolutely love him as a play this week. Now, yes, it is a little bit risky. There are a bunch of pass catchers, but if we know one thing, it's that Tom Brady really likes Antonio Brown. I think he's going to try to force feed him the ball this week once again, like he has in previous weeks that he's been on the field. So go ahead and play Antonio Brown and Aaron Jones so far. Now let's get into the next core play for this week. All right, now moving on to the tight end core play, we got tight end Will Dissly with the Seattle Seahawks. Now, a lot of people are probably thinking, why Will Dissly? We got Jacob Hollister there where he's splitting snaps, and he is, but we got to look at kind of what happened with replacing Greg Olsen. It definitely was Will Dissly. Dissly saw 65% of the snaps, 72% of the snaps, and 54% of the snaps, where Jacob Hollister is only seen right around 50% of the snaps. So the tight end number 1 in this offense is now Will Dissly. We saw him have a decent week last week where he saw 5 targets, was able to score 6.8 DK points against the New York Giants, who are a tougher matchup. Now, Will Dissly, the tight number 1 for the Seattle Seahawks, gets a really easy matchup. He gets the easiest matchup on the slate going against the New York Jets. They're giving up plus 5.1 DK points more to an opposing tight end's season average. So even with Will Dissly only scoring right around 4 DK points per game, he still gets a projection of around 9.5 this week, which at this price point, 2.9 is great. We're going to take that any day of the week. So it's a nice safe play for you guys to be able to afford to pay up for some of the other studs. Like I already mentioned, Aaron Jones, you guys could easily play Derrick Henry there as well if you want to really stack the running backs on the slate, or potentially you could get up to Devontae Adams. Will Dissly allows you to do that with kind of a safer option, really an appealing option at this price point. Now, the last core play I have for you guys is going to be another running back. It's going to be running back David Montgomery. Now, I mentioned him in the cash plays video, but to get a guy that's getting right around 20 opportunities per game at this price point in this matchup is very appealing. I know a lot of people have some sour taste in their mouth from David Montgomery, but if you watch the film from the last 2 weeks, you can really tell a huge difference. I think a lot of that might just be due to fresh leg. He's making some defenders miss that, earlier on in the year, kind of throughout his whole career, he hadn't really made defenders miss. And just the last 2 weeks, he's been able to do that. Now, maybe that was just due to matchup. He had 2 really easy matchups in a row. He gets the easiest matchup pretty much on the whole season here with the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans have been gouged via the run game. They're giving up over 200 more rushing yards this season than the other team. You look at the plus minus here. Houston's given up almost 8.9 DK points per game to opposing running backs to their season average now. David Montgomery does get skewed a little bit with this projection because he has got injured. You know, he wasn't exactly that productive, but he still gets a DK average right around 15 DK points. And I would say that's more of his floor this week because I do like his upside. I do like the film that he's displayed the last 2 weeks. So go out and play David Montgomery this week. You could easily stack Aaron Jones, David Montgomery, Will Dissly, and Antonio Brown. You guys are sitting pretty right there. Then you just kind of got to fill in the rest, see what you guys want to do there. From there, if you guys want, you can check out the cash plays video, kind of see what I'm thinking for this week. All right, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's video, this week's course plays video. If you guys are interested in joining 9 to 5 Nation, the link is in the description below. It is $10 a month. Once again, it just keeps getting bigger and better each and every week. Now, I know the season is coming to an end, but still, you know, that's sometimes the best that you guys can do in the season because not as many eyes are, you know, paying attention to it. Not as